Hey everyone, Richard Bass here from Thriving with Richard Bass. Today we're talking about one of the biggest challenges parents face, how to stay calm when your child is having big emotions. Whether it's a toddler tantrum, a school-age meltdown, or a teenage emotional crisis, your ability to remain regulated is the key to helping them through it. As a special education teacher for over a decade and author of several parenting books, I've learned that we cannot give what we do not have. If we want to help our children regulate their emotions, we must first learn to regulate our own. This isn't about being perfect or never feeling frustrated. It's about developing skills to stay grounded when your child needs you most. In the next few minutes, I'll share specific strategies for staying calm during your child's most challenging moments, explain why your regulation is so crucial for their development, and give you practical tools you can use starting today. Let's get started. First, let's understand what happens in your brain when your child is dysregulated. When your child is screaming, crying, or acting out, your brain interprets this as a threat. Your amygdala, the alarm system in your brain, activates your fight or flight response. Your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, and stress hormones flood your system. This is completely normal and biological. Our brains are wired to respond intensely to our children's distress. The problem is that when we're in fight or flight mode, we can't think clearly, problem solve effectively, or model the calm behavior we want our children to learn. Here's the crucial point. Children co-regulate with the adults around them. If you're calm, your child's nervous system will gradually sync with yours and calm down. If you're escalated, you're adding fuel to their emotional fire. Let me share an example from my classroom. I had a student, Kevin, who would have intense meltdowns when transitions didn't go as expected. During my first few weeks working with him, I would feel my own anxiety spike when I saw him getting upset. My voice would get tighter, my movements would become more rushed, and Kevin would escalate even more. Once I learned to recognize my own stress signals and regulate myself first, everything changed. When Kevin started showing signs of distress, I would take a deep breath, lower my voice, and slow my movements. Kevin began calming down much more quickly because he was borrowing my calm instead of feeding off my anxiety. So how do you stay calm when your child is in the middle of an emotional storm? Here are 7 specific strategies that work. Strategy 1. Use the stop technique. When you feel your stress rising, literally say the word stop to yourself. Then take one deep breath before responding. This tiny pause interrupts your automatic stress response and gives your thinking brain a chance to come back online. I worked with a mom, Lisa, who would immediately start yelling when her 8-year-old had meltdowns about homework. We practiced the stop technique. When she felt her frustration building, she would say stop under her breath and take one deep breath. This simple practice gave her just enough space to choose her response instead of reacting automatically. Strategy 2. Focus on your breathing. When we're stressed, our breathing becomes shallow and rapid. Deliberately slowing and deepening your breath sends a signal to your nervous system that you're safe. Try breathing in for 4 counts, holding for 4, and exhaling for 6. The longer exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes calm. The beautiful thing about this strategy is that children often unconsciously match your breathing rhythm. When you breathe slowly and deeply, you're helping them regulate without even speaking. Strategy 3. Relax your body intentionally. Stress creates physical tension, especially in your shoulders, jaw, and hands. During your child's emotional moment, do a quick body scan. Are your shoulders up by your ears? Is your jaw clenched? Are your hands in fists? Consciously relax these areas. I teach parents to drop their shoulders, soften their jaw, and open their hands. This physical relaxation sends signals to your brain that you're safe, which helps you stay calm and think clearly. Strategy 4. Lower your voice and slow your speech. When children are dysregulated, they're already overwhelmed by stimulation. A loud, fast voice adds to their overwhelm. Instead, speak more quietly and slowly than usual. This counterintuitive approach often causes children to quiet down to hear you. One father I worked with, Marcus, discovered that when he whispered during his daughter's tantrums, she would stop screaming to listen. The contrast between her loud emotions and his quiet voice helped her nervous system start to regulate. Strategy 5. Use grounding techniques. When you feel overwhelmed by your child's emotions, ground yourself in the present moment. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This technique pulls you out of emotional reactivity and into present moment awareness. Another grounding technique is to feel your feet on the floor and imagine roots growing from your feet into the earth. This visualization helps you feel stable and centered even when emotions are swirling around you. Strategy 6. Remember that this is temporary. In the heat of an emotional storm, it can feel like it will last forever. Remind yourself that all emotions are temporary. Your child's meltdown will end. Your frustration will pass. This too shall pass is not just a saying, it's a neurological fact. I often tell parents to think of emotions like weather. Storms are intense, but they always move through. Your job is to be the steady lighthouse, not another boat being tossed by the waves. Strategy 7. Have a personal calm down phrase. Develop a short phrase you can repeat to yourself during challenging moments. This might be, I can handle this. My child needs my calm right now. Or, this is hard and I'm doing my best. Choose something that feels authentic and supportive to you. Sarah, a mom I worked with, used the phrase, this is a moment, not a lifetime. It helped her remember that even the most intense tantrums are temporary and manageable. Now let's talk about what to do if you're already escalated. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we find ourselves caught up in our child's emotional storm. When this happens, it's important to reset rather than push through. If you realize you're dysregulated, it's okay to say, I need a minute to calm down and then I'll help you. Step away if it's safe to do so, take some deep breaths, and regulate yourself before re-engaging. This models healthy emotional management and prevents the situation from escalating further. I want to address some common challenges parents face when trying to stay calm. Challenge 1. I feel guilty for getting upset when my child is struggling. Remember that having emotions doesn't make you a bad parent. The goal isn't to never feel frustrated or overwhelmed. The goal is to recognize these feelings and manage them in healthy ways. Challenge 2. My child's behavior pushes all my buttons. Children often trigger our own childhood wounds or current stress points. If you find certain behaviors consistently dysregulate you, this might be an area for personal growth or professional support. Challenge 3. I can stay calm for the first few minutes, but then I lose it. This is very common. Our emotional reserves are limited, especially when we're tired, stressed, or dealing with ongoing challenges. Build your tolerance gradually and be patient with yourself. Challenge 4. My child seems to get more upset when I'm calm. Sometimes children initially escalate when we stop engaging in their emotional intensity. They might be used to getting bigger reactions from us. Stay consistent with your calm approach, and they will eventually learn to co-regulate with your steadiness. Let's talk about preparation strategies. Staying calm during emotional storms is much easier when you've prepared yourself in advance. First, take care of your basic needs. Are you eating regularly, staying hydrated, getting enough sleep, and having some time for yourself? It's much harder to stay calm when your own system is stressed or depleted. Second, identify your personal triggers. What specific behaviors or situations tend to push you over the edge? When you know your triggers, you can prepare for them mentally and have strategies ready. Third, practice regulation techniques during calm moments. Don't wait for a crisis to try deep breathing or grounding techniques. Practice them when you're already calm so they become automatic responses during stress. Fourth, have a support system. Whether it's a partner, friend, family member, or professional counselor, having someone you can talk to about parenting challenges is crucial for your mental health and your ability to stay regulated. Here are some prevention strategies that can reduce the intensity and frequency of emotional storms in your home. Create predictable routines that help everyone feel secure. When children know what to expect, they're less likely to become dysregulated. And when you have routines in place, you're less likely to feel overwhelmed. Build in regular connection time with your child. Children who feel connected to their parents tend to have fewer intense emotional outbursts. This doesn't have to be elaborate. Even 10 minutes of focused, positive attention can make a big difference. Teach emotional vocabulary and coping skills during calm moments. Don't wait for meltdowns to start teaching about emotions. When everyone is regulated, practice identifying feelings and discussing healthy ways to handle them. Address underlying needs that might be contributing to emotional storms. Is your child hungry, tired, overwhelmed, or needing more physical activity? Often addressing basic needs can prevent emotional crises. Let me share a family success story. The Rodriguez family was struggling with daily meltdowns from their 6-year-old son, Miguel. Mom would get increasingly frustrated, which seemed to make Miguel's outbursts worse. We worked on mom's regulation strategies first. She started using the breathing technique and the phrase, "Miguel needs my calm right now." She also began taking better care of herself, going to bed earlier and asking for help with household tasks so she wasn't constantly exhausted. Within 2 weeks, Miguel's meltdowns were shorter and less intense. Within a month, they were happening much less frequently. When Miguel felt his mom's steady, calm presence, his nervous system learned to regulate more quickly. Here's something important to understand. Staying calm doesn't mean being emotionless or permissive. You can be calm while still maintaining boundaries, addressing behavior, and helping your child learn appropriate responses. Calm is not the same as passive. You might say something like, "I can see you're really upset about screen time ending. I'm going to stay right here with you while you have these big feelings. The rule about screen time doesn't change, but I'll help you through this." This response acknowledges emotions, offers support, maintains boundaries, and models regulation all at the same time. Remember that your calm presence is one of the greatest gifts you can give your child. When children experience adults who can stay grounded during emotional storms, they learn that emotions are manageable, that they're safe even when they're upset, and that relationships can weather difficult moments. Your ability to stay calm also protects your relationship with your child. When we react with anger or frustration to their emotions, children can start to believe that their feelings are bad or that they're bad for having them. When we stay calm, we send the message that all feelings are acceptable even when behaviors need to change. Let me share one final strategy that many parents find helpful: the airplane oxygen mask principle. On airplanes, they tell you to put your own oxygen mask on first before helping others. The same is true in parenting. You cannot help your child regulate if you're not regulated yourself. This means that taking care of your own emotional well-being isn't selfish, it's necessary. Whether that's therapy, exercise, time with friends, meditation, or whatever helps you feel centered, prioritizing your mental health directly benefits your child. Don't expect perfection from yourself. Even with all these strategies, you'll still have moments where you get caught up in your child's emotions. That's human and normal. What matters is that you keep practicing, keep learning, and keep growing alongside your child. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you're building neural pathways that make it easier next time. Every time you regulate yourself first, you're teaching your child that emotions are manageable. Every time you stay grounded during their storm, you're showing them what emotional maturity looks like. That's all for today. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to Thriving with Richard Bass. Drop a comment below sharing your experiences. What strategies help you stay calm during your child's emotional moments? What challenges are you facing with staying regulated? I read every comment and often use your questions for future videos. See you in the next video.